What's up, Ramblers? Before we start today's podcast, I just want to tell you how you can win some free money. Hashtag BDW Live. We are having an absolutely free business development webinar, and I'm inviting all of you guys. It's going to be February 26th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're giving away a bunch of awesome prizes, services, and basically free money. If you want to hear some awesome black women present, ask your needed business questions, and win some free stuff in the process, check out the details in the podcast. Before we begin, a moment from our sponsor. So this is where we're going to start the podcast. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another wonderful episode of The Ramblings. I'm your host, Angelo Roberts, and we are talking about freelancing. Why are we talking about freelancing today? The reason that we're talking about freelancing is because if you want to be a business owner, a lot of people skip the actual work step that it takes to be a business owner. So what that means is if you want to own a landscaping business, or if you're trying to start like a hair braiding business, a lot of people don't do the hair braiding or are not doing the landscaping part. And that is a very key factor for most people when you're starting a business, is actually being able to do most of the work yourself. A lot of times it's going to be very difficult to not know how to do any of the things that the business does or offers and still be able to start that business. So for example, I started a virtual assistant company, right? And so it would be extremely hard for me to start a virtual assistant company and not know how to do anything a virtual assistant knows how to do, So for those of you that are looking to start a business, my number one first step is to be a freelancer, because then you can really see, is this even something that you want to do? Because there's no point in getting a business if it's not something that you're going to be passionate or be happy that you're in. It doesn't make any sense at all. You can have small side hustles that can generate money, but it doesn't make sense to get into business, like actual business, if you aren't going to enjoy it. So the reason why I consider freelancing to be like this extremely huge opportunity for a lot of people that are trying to get into business is because, one, it gives you a great way to test the waters, to just get in, to see if you really like it or anything. And so from that particular point on, you can then see how much are you willing to do? Are you willing to go in? How much are you willing to dive? It gives you a chance to set up your processes. It gives you a chance to really see what also the bottom level worker in your job will do. Because as a freelancer, when you're doing everything, the grunt work is really just the work that you're supposed to be doing. The actual work that gets done is all of the grunt work. So for example, for us, the grunt work is doing the client work, right? So if a client needs us to schedule certain emails for certain days, and then have follow-up meetings and things like that, that would be the grunt work. The back end work is doing like getting the client, the admin behind it. It's just so many different things that go into doing the grunt work that business owners focus on. And a lot of people don't realize that they don't really want to do that part of the business. So if you get to freelancing, right, and you realize that you don't want to do billing, or you don't want to even do the back end work, you realize that being a business owner isn't for you. Because here's the thing, freelancing and being a business owner are two different things. They can be very much the same, but again, they're two separate things. And the reason that they're two separate things are because freelancing is a single person structure. You can connect with other people, but it's a single person structure. And so when you're trying to start a business, freelancing gives you a sense of what it's like to be a business owner, and all encompassing. And do you have the means to grow a business? So when you're a freelancer, the reason why getting started as a freelancer is the best way to get started into owning a business is because you can start with your basics. Do you have a billing and invoicing system? Do you know how to do it in billing and invoicing? And is this something that you're efficient at? Do you have accounting? Do you have customer service? Do you have customer retention? What is your strategy for customer acquisition? All of these things come into play as a freelancer. So everyone says, I want to get started as a business because it's this fancy title, right? But if you start as a freelancer, that means doing whatever your business is going to be doing, whatever you're going to be selling, whatever you're going to be doing as a service, right? Start it just you, or just your small team.
we happen to do what other business owners don't like, right? So our business is almost through and through exactly the same. We have to manage emails for our business. We have to manage emails for the clients. We handle all of their office work. And so we have our own office work to do. However, for someone that does, say, landscaping, it might not be so similar. It might not be so easy to do that back end work, right? So being a freelancer lets you also know where you're weak and where you're strong at, even in that particular skill. So going back to, like, say, the landscaper, when you're landscaping, someone might say, hey, you're a landscaper, can you come and do my planting once a week? Now you might have other responsibilities or other time things that you have to give your time to. So doing something once a week on a repetitive basis may not be something for you. You may need someone that's, once gets set up and then takes it from there. However, that goes into creating your business structure, and you don't know that until you've done it. And so being a freelancer gives you the ability to be like, you're a free trial business owner. I think that's the best way to say it. Being a freelancer is like a free trial to being a business owner. And that's really why I call this free game, guys, because the point of the free game is to give you things to elevate and boost yourself. And so for people that are stuck right here, right now, and trying to find out what it is that they're trying to do with their next life, right? So if you're trying to do a career change, if you're trying to become a business owner and you are unsure of what your next step should be. I don't know how to come up with a plan. I don't know what to do for business. Become a freelancer, because there's a whole lot less uh, startup energy and cost that goes into being a freelancer. It's the power. It goes back to the when I was talking about the power of thinking small. You have so much less to operate with, and therefore you have so much less to operate on. And so because of that, it gives you a much better measure frame of what you're willing to do. If you only have $300 a month to put towards a business and that's all you have, now you can see, hey, these are where my monies are best allocated, because you have no choice but to best allocate your money, because you can't waste your $300. And so upon finding these small niches and what it is that you are good at and what you're not good at in your own business, you will begin to see if being a business owner is or is not for you. It doesn't have to be something for that is for everybody. But what I'm saying is, if you're in the process of even trying to do a career change, if you're thinking, hey, I'm in customer service, I might want to venture into sales. One of the best ways to do that is going to be being a freelancer. How A lot of small businesses need different freelancers, right? And so you trying to transition from your customer service job to your freelance job. I'm not to your freelance job, to your sales job, right? It is going to have a training curve. Like, if you don't have any sales experience, you're not going to have any sales jobs. It's kind of hard to get a job in something that you don't have any experience or learning in. And so what freelance allows you to do is to work with people that are willing to give you an opportunity, because they don't have the huge base that other people have. And so becoming a freelancer is not the end all be all, but it is a very great transition holder. It's a great transitioning period for either another job or for a business. And when you become a freelancer, it doesn't require all of the paperwork that it requires to be a business owner. So when people talk about, oh, you have to go get an LLC and it's like $140, or even take your $140 and become an LLC owner, you don't need to do that as a freelancer. As a freelancer, you just need to say, I'm doing business. Being self-employed is almost exponentially cheaper than becoming a business owner, because becoming self-employed literally requires this: I am self-employed. That's it. The only thing that you have to do to be self-employed is say that you're self-employed, and then you can go around asking people for money for what you do. You don't have to have an actual business license in that sense. Now, certain jobs that you do may require a license. Like if you're a contractor, you may require different permits and things of that nature. However, as a virtual assistant, when I was freelancing, I didn't need to have, a business account. I recommend it, but it's not needed. I don't need to have fancy paperwork. I can have, my own simple process. I'm freelancing. It's just me. I only have the ability to take on so many clients, and people understand what it's like to have someone who's just doing freelance work, and they respect the consultant's time, which is why I say if you're going to be a freelancer, if you like what you do, right? If you're a cook and you like being a cook, become a freelance cook. If you're a carpenter and you like carpentry, become a freelance carpenter. If you are if you like working at an office, become a virtual assistant in a freelance setting. Like, if you enjoy human interaction with people, drive for Uber. The reason why freelancing allows for the ability of having like a trial to being a business owner is because you're still responsible for all of the back end stuff. So even as a freelancer, you're still responsible for getting clients. You're still responsible for taking care of the bills, invoices, making sure you have cash flow. You're still responsible for paying taxes. You're still responsible for following up with clients and making sure that they have a good experience and that you provide a quality service or a quality product. All of these things happen in business, but on a much larger scale. And so freelancing gives you a taste of on if you are ready to handle that next level scale. That's why freelancing is the transition period of which everyone should take. I am so bad at doing my wording right now. I'm like making up words. I hate when I start making up words like that. But as I'm saying, freelance is the best way to do your transition into a new career or see if you want to be a business owner. Like I said, it's like a free trial. It gives you a lot of the benefits, if you will, without any of the major startup costs. And so if you're thinking about going into business, you should really start thinking about being a freelancer first. And I might think I'll probably do another segment on this, but I'm excited.
Hey guys, so before you leave, don't forget February 26th, we're giving out free money and free prizes, and most importantly, free knowledge. It's going to be all value, all the time, the whole time. Hashtag BDW Live. It's going to be on YouTube, Clubhouse, and everywhere else. Free tickets to this free event are in the description.